All right, Chris Popper here in Bangor. I'm joined by UMaine field hockey coach Josette Babineau and fifth year student Bhreagh Kennedy. And you're not in Orono, you're out in Chicago and getting ready to finally start the season on Friday against number one Northwestern. Coach, so tell us a little bit. You had your first scrimmage last Sunday at UNH against Brown, and it was like the cone of silence. No, there was no reporting, but tell us how it all went.
It went okay. It was the scrimmage overall ended up in a tie, but we didn't play any additional time, like any overtime or anything. We did like practice a shootout at the end. 2 rounds of 5 shooters with them to end the game. I think the biggest thing is the beginning of the game. I would say we struggled with at least the first quarter of the game with organization, just because we obviously you're just going on the field. We haven't played yet. And I thought that we would maybe be able to get organized a little bit faster, but it did take us a bit of time to be able to do that. And then once we were able to, they were pressuring us a little bit. Once we were able to figure out how to get out of that, more so in the second half of the game. And as the game went, I think we wore them a little bit as well. And we had a much stronger second half than first half in terms of skill level, being able to execute passes with each other and have possession, and created a lot more attack than them in the second part of the game, like that second half.
So obviously, if it's 2-2, the goaltending was pretty good in the defense to keep the score like that against Brown.
Yeah, we rotated the goalkeepers a quarter at a time, so they each got half the game. But so one quarter, one goalie would be in, the second quarter, the other one. So we were able to put a lot of people in the game, and I think that was still important to, still trying out people in different positions and assessing our new players and their skill level. And I think, for the players, for Bria, I'm sure that's the same with them as well as with the coaches.
Bhreagh, you've got a lot of new teammates. How has the assimilation gone this year?
So far it's gone really well. It's been super awesome just training with them, and they're all leaders on their old teams. So having that support throughout each line on the field has been great.
When did you all fly out to Chicago?
Just yesterday.
So, and you were busy yesterday. So today's Thursday. Yeah, right. Yeah, okay. And so you flew out on Wednesday, but you guys did a lot of sightseeing. Tell us what you've done.
Yeah, so we arrived in Chicago midday and then spent the afternoon into the evening. We went to the Bean and we went on a boat tour in the Chicago River, seeing some architecture along the riverside, and ended the night with some classic Chicago pizza.
How it was now, all right. Classic Chicago pizza versus Pat's.
Oh, Pat's, definitely
Oh,
Pat's.
okay, good job. You gotta come home. Remember that, right?
Yeah.
Have you done any training while you've been in Chicago? I mean, you were out this morning prior to this, right? Running off all that pizza.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, we have practice later this afternoon.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
today is all field hockey.
today's all field hockey. Yesterday was fun. Today is field hockey.
Going back to
Um, so tomorrow at noon Eastern time, 11 o'clock your time out there in Chicago, you take on the number one team in the nation, Northwestern. Nothing like easing into the schedule, is it?
I mean, it's exciting to, I think, play that level of game. Maybe the first game is a little bit challenging, maybe more so challenging because it is the first game and we don't have everything figured out, and they have pretty experienced teams, so maybe their start will be a little bit smoother. But I think it's still exciting to be able to, challenge yourself and play different teams on your schedule, even if the caliber of those teams is as high as they will be tomorrow. I think it's still exciting for us as a program to have that game on our schedule, and for Bhreagh and the older players on our team, I would think it's still very exciting for them to, play the top players in the country and see how, what we can do in that game to challenge them and be competitive in that game with them.
That's awesome. I mean, you're just gonna have to like break all the purple crayons and stuff to get ready for the game against Northwestern. And then on Saturday, there's no rest for the weary. I mean, you turn around and then play UMass out in Illinois again, and then you move down. I think my geography's right. On Monday, you play Indiana at Indiana, so it'll be nice to get home finally.
Yeah, those next two games, like UMass, we've been lucky to have them on our schedule for the past few seasons, and that game it's often gone to extra time. I mean, it's a very close game. And we haven't played Indiana. I don't think that I've played Indiana since we've been at Maine, but that'll be a competitive game as well. So those next two games will be, very even games for our program. And more so, what we'll see with the rest of our schedule as well. But yeah, it's always exciting to uh, get home again, the following weekend for our home games and play on our home field again.
When you go, you're gonna bus down to Indiana, what, Saturday night, or is that
Yeah.
the plan?
Saturday after the game, in the afternoon to be there Saturday night, and we'll practice there on Sunday and then recover a little bit and then play that Monday game. And they are also playing, on the weekend, so it'll be the third game for both programs on the Monday.
And then you fly home Monday night, is that?
Yep.
And then the start of school on Tuesday, right? It's like, yay, all right, we got 8 o'clock class in the morning. No, I mean, but yeah, and then turn around and I mean, then you have the tradition of being, I mean, last year that you guys did so well GPA wise, I'm sure that there's a little bit of pressure to maintain that.
Yeah, for me, I don't feel too much pressure.
Well, you're a
Um,
fifth year student,
but
so I mean, right?
yeah, but I don't know. I like to work hard on my studies, so it's sort of like a standard that I keep for myself.
And,
But,
and what are you majoring in? And
I graduated in the spring with the 2 degrees, one in economics and another in marketing, and then my graduate degree is in global policy.
holy, that's excellent. I was a double major a lifetime ago in economics and history, so
Oh, awesome.
economics is pretty cool. Um, what what's been the best part about the trip so far? I mean, going to the Bean, obviously. I mean, it's kind of it's like the must do thing when you're in Chicago. But tell us a little bit about the organization. And did everyone bring all their sticks? I mean, we talked about the preparation and how you can't turn the plane around if you've forgotten something. But how did the trip go? Everybody remember everything and we're in good shape?
So far, I
Yeah.
think.
It was pretty smooth
Well,
yesterday. We thought it was a successful day one, so we'll see what day two brings. But yeah, it was smooth. Everything was on time with the flights and the team, because we had everyone meet us at the airport, kind of drive themselves, or we had
oh,
like people had arranged cars. We had arranged cars, and so we had to be at the airport at 4 a.m. So that was already a different
holy.
thing, with the early morning flight. But no, it was very smooth. And yeah, I think that being able to do a little bit in downtown yesterday was good, because the last time we were here, we didn't do anything because it was during COVID and flying and just being at the hotel. So we didn't have any outside activities. So for Bria to have been here before, but to come, a second time and at least be able to go into downtown for the, we were there for a couple, maybe 2 hours yesterday. So it was nice to be able to do that.
and eat that crummy pizza. So, right. It's hard to eat pizza with a mask. So,
Yeah.
yeah. Um, what uh what do you know about Indiana University? I mean, obviously Northwestern, number one. You talked a little bit about UMass, but what about Indiana?
Think like with the Big Ten schools, the style of play is kind of similar. You know, the speed of their play and the physicality is probably a little bit different in that conference to like our conference. So I expect it to be fast and physical. We'll have a little bit of video on their first games by the time we play them, so we'll know a little bit more going into that game versus the first two games. It's the first two games it's the
Right.
first game for Northwestern and us, and it'll be the first game for UMass when they play us. So we only have past information, on those two programs and having played them. So hopefully by Monday or Sunday afternoon, we'll know a little bit more about Indiana, but I think it'll be a competitive game for sure.
How I'm assuming all three games are on turf.
Yeah, all the Division 1 games are on water-based AstroTurf like facility. So the facilities are nice here at the schools that we're playing at.
I would imagine that you'll get a tour of at Indiana and go see the basketball court and the Hoosier Dome and everything, and just dream about that. Eventually Maine will have something, maybe not quite as big, but that facility will be improved as well.
Yeah, hopefully we have a little bit of time when we go to our practice there to be able to walk around and, see that area of athletics anyways while we're there.
All right. How many, you're not like 8 to a room like high school just are when they go up to overnights or something. What do you got? Two to a room? It's pretty yeah, pretty
Yeah,
cushy.
pretty lucky.
It's not like the yellow school bus when MDI goes up to Caribou and yeah, it's 27 to a room. Right. No. So, all right. Well, listen, thanks very much. Alert your mother so that way she can watch you on this. I thank you for joining. You're the first student that's made it into the coaches show. So fantastic. And we look forward to hopefully you joining us again, and best of luck this coming weekend. And then your first home game, let's talk about that, is a week from tomorrow. So Friday, September 6th, early in the afternoon, 3 o'clock against Hofstra.
Yep. Yeah, it's a three team weekend that weekend. So always good to have two teams join us, and those two teams will play against each other on the Saturday, and then we'll play Central Michigan on Sunday. I mean, Hofstra was on our schedule last year, so this will be like the second year, I guess, of playing against them. And then Central Michigan, we haven't played in a long time. So it was nice to just have a team from away, not in our region, to play against. Even with Hofstra, it's a little bit out of our region as well. So just good to have two different teams on the schedule.
I'm amazed that well, that UC Davis is in America East. I mean, it somehow my geography doesn't really compute with that, but at least you play them at home this year.
Yeah, there's not a lot of field hockey on the West Coast, and they're an affiliate member, and
Yeah.
that seems strange, right? That as an affiliate member that we have had teams from California to the most East Conference that you have in Division 1. So I mean it's challenging for them, like we don't play there, so they don't get home games in our conference, and they're flying. I think 3 weekends of flying for them to get all their conference games in. Yeah, it's been challenging as an affiliate member for sure. For us, not so much, but for them, definitely.
Well, they get all the frequent flyer points. So you have to look at the bright side. All right. Sounds good. We'll talk to you next week. Thanks so much. Don't leave yet, but thanks so much. Good luck this weekend.
Thank
Thank you.
you.